does what happened yesterday when he got booed by his own fans, does that increase Arsenal's chances of getting Julian Alvarez?
I hate to be a Debbie Downer if you're an Arsenal fan, but probably not. Look, the information we're getting is that, look, Alvarez, as you were saying, wants to go to Barcelona. His family's settled there, happy in Spain. The problem is, obviously, Atletico don't want him to go at all, and they certainly don't want him to go to a La Liga rival. Barcelona put in a bid of around £100 million earlier in the window, and that was flatly rejected. We know Alvarez came out during the World Cup and suggested he was ready to move on, but at no point does it feel as though that Arsenal are near the top of his wish list. We know Real Madrid were interested earlier in the window as well. So it feels as though at the moment it's Barcelona or the club that may make a move. Obviously, always with Barcelona, it's how much have they got as a budget and what can they do to maybe find some more money if that's what Atletico want. I wouldn't say the situation's untenable for him at Atletico, but that was unpleasant probably for him yesterday. So that may give Arsenal a little bit of hope. But look, obviously, if he desperately wants to leave, we know Arsenal have got a big chunk of budget still to go, and we know they want to target a forward. But at the moment, it seems as though he's willing to give Barcelona every inch to try to get his move there.
Yeah. So, I mean, it does sound like it's going to be very hard to do for Arsenal, Julian Alvarez. So should they be prioritising him, or should they be looking at maybe something they need more, which is another left winger?
I think that centre-forward position or left wing is, but I think centre-forward, something that gets goals for them, I think just changes the dynamic of Arsenal.
But they're the guy who got 15 goals in the Premier League last year, and they won the Premier League.
I know, but I still think you can improve on that with them, especially with the creativity they have in the park. Left wing, yes, absolutely, and I've said on here before that if you have the likes of Liverpool going for Barcola, that's someone that you're interested in, but it's a lot of money to spend on a player that doesn't, listen, his speed, his energy, the way he takes players on is amazing, but does he guarantee you goals and assists in every game or every other game? I don't know. So for me, Arsenal, those key areas, they'll set the forward in that left back or the left wing position. Which one you prioritise? If Alvarez, who you feel it's going to be down to him. And I think it seems like from what he wants to stay in Spain. If Barcelona are on the cards, and listen, what an incredible team Barcelona would have if they got him through the door. They just brought in Rodri, they got Yamal, got Gordon sent up too. That's scary, but I think that's a hard one to get done for Arsenal. I think it's like the Vinny one. I think it's a lot of talk, maybe not getting over the line because the priorities for that player alone are going to be staying in Spain.
Yeah. Also, this time last week, we were hearing from Arsenal, they want to be the best club in the world. That's why they're talking about players like Julian Alvarez, who's achieved so much in his career. That's why they're talking about, previously in the window, Vinicius Junior. That's the interest they had in him. They knew that was always going to be a tough deal to do. It didn't get done. That's the problem now. If Arsenal want to take that step up, they've got to persuade these kind of players to move to North London. It might not be easy, but that's the level they want to go to now. And that's the fees we're talking about, that's the stars we're talking about, that's the project they've got to sell, and they're confident they can do that. They've just got to get a bid accepted and get him in.
It's the prospects as well. It's Arsenal. What Arsenal are saying is, you come to us and you're the difference to make us win the Champions League. That's what it is. We said we're in the Premier League. We've got an opportunity to win that again, potentially with the squad we have. But you're the difference maker, and us going to the next level, which is what we've never won before, which is Champions League. And that's what they're trying to achieve. They're trying to get players in that give them a better chance of winning that competition.
What about Manchester City, Anton? You know, we know that they're a team in transition at the moment, of course, you know, post Pep Guardiola era, the greatest manager of all time, arguably. Do you think they're looking at Julian Alvarez and thinking, that's the one that got away?
They didn't really want to sell him. They let him go for around £85 million because he wanted to be the guy somewhere, and they knew he had the talent to go and be the star in a team, and they couldn't necessarily guarantee him that.
The big story is all about Julian Alvarez. And it looks like it's going to be that way right up till the transfer window. Yesterday, Atletico Madrid, first home game of the season against Villarreal, all eyes were on Alvarez. He didn't start the game, he was on the bench. He came on in the 66th minute and he got mercilessly booed by the home fans. They booed him relentlessly every time he touched the ball. I mean, it wasn't nice to see, but they made their feelings clear, and listen, you can't blame him. He wants to go and join one of their deadliest rivals in Barcelona. At the end of the game, now we know, especially in Europe, when the game finishes, all the players go over to the ultras and get serenaded, and you know they thank them for coming. He didn't go over to them. He went straight down the tunnel. Now, we were being told after the game that that was on instruction by the management of Atletico. They said, don't go over to the fans at the end. Just get out, go down the tunnel. Listen, this is a situation that is really, really bad. It's not going to be able to go on. Only a couple of things can happen here, right? I said it yesterday. He apologizes, comes out, apologizes, and just gets his head down and stays at the club. And hopefully the fans forgive him. The other alternative, obviously, for him is he gets out of the club. Now, where does he go? Is it Barcelona? They are still digging their heels in Atletico Madrid, and they are saying, absolutely no way are we selling you to Barcelona. And if he does go to Barcelona, you can see from the reaction of the fans yesterday that you know, they may even turn on the owners of the club and say, listen, you told us you're not going to sell him to Barcelona, and you went and did it, right? So there's that situation. His out could be to come to Arsenal. Now, it's funny, I was chatting to a friend of mine, Sid, who does a Real Madrid channel, really good Real Madrid channel over there in Spain. And he was reminding me that this situation has happened before at Atletico Madrid with Sergio Aguero. Aguero wanted to leave Atletico Madrid to go to Real Madrid. Atletico dug their heels in and said, absolutely no way. The fans weren't happy with him because he had spoken about Real Madrid. And in the end, he ended up going to Manchester City. That was the only club they would agree to sell him to. And the rest is history. He didn't go to Manchester City and cry because he didn't get his dream move to Real Madrid. He didn't not play his best for Real Madrid. He did. He was, you know, one of their best players ever. He scored their goal to win them their first title in the Premier League era. So listen, this could be the same sort of situation happening again with Julian Alvarez. Arsenal want him. Arsenal are prepared to pay the big money for him. They're probably one of the only other clubs out there that are willing to meet what's going to be a massive fee. My friend also suggesting that maybe Real Madrid, with all the signings they've made, Barcelona, with all the signings they made, may not have the funds to get this deal over the line now, because it's going to be about £130 million. Where is he going to end up? This is going to be the big one of the transfer window. We've already been involved with the one with Vinicius Jr. Now Arsenal involved again with the next big one. Julian Alvarez, where does he end up? Does Gyökeres end up going the other way as well?